give another round of applause to Doreen. I'm going to take on a little bit of a journey, so I'm going to take some of Doreen's analogies, and I just don't know any other way to do it. 6195.
Thank you.
And so I was on a journey, an ordinary journey. Went to Centennial College, got my degree in general business, coal program, and went out to the working world. I was here for 10 years. It was a glorious job and career. After that, I had, I call it an awakening in 2003. We call it a voice inside. Riley Bluth, the fellow author, came up called The Ace Awakening in his second book. He says, "You had an awakening." Is that what it was? Awakening? And I went in front of Google, and I was like, all right, I'm looking for something. And it was mentorship. So I went on Google, I found a couple of networking events in Toronto, and within 1 year, I found attracted two mentors. One of them was Max Servoon, who's the founder of the Society of Internet Professionals. And the second one was Terry Dogman. He's written a book called How Can I Get Myself to Do What I Need to Do? And these two gentlemen really had impact. One of them more on business life and success, and Max more on the opportunity to get in front of people and fail, and fail a lot. And I tell you that because we fail every day, actually, and that's a good thing. What I realized is I was getting better along the way. That's why I'm a big fan of Toastmasters and CAPS, and I'm excited where the PSA is going to make an impact with Anne and the rest of the group. I'm really excited about that. I'll talk about that in the end. So let's begin here. When I'm networking, I had this card, and so I'm not giving my card here. I had this card. This wasn't the card that I had, but I had a card that if I showed it to you, you'd probably go, "Oh my goodness, and you survived?" And life is a thin thread. And I'm here to tell you that it begins with you. But the extension of you is happy. Some sort of like an info card or business card. Everybody agree with me? Disagree? Important. So my card was nothing but luxurious, and I can email the picture to Anne if you want, and you want to kind of cry over it later on anyway. But as I evolved, I realized this was an extension of me. And so I encourage everyone to have a business card or a wonderful book, because a book is a better business card. Right? This here. And so fast forward, spent time learning, developing, personal development. I worked for FedEx Freight for 7 years in the evening. So during the day, I had lots of time to grow my brand and lift my mentor say lift up pants in your socks and get things done. So I appreciate all the bio. There's a lot more things I've done, but at the end of the day, I was out there pushing, failing every day. Lords, let me tell you. So there comes a time where 2008, I wrote these 3 articles for the Toronto Big Library. I was happy about them. My friends say to me, "Well, why don't you leverage those articles into paid speaking opportunities?" I'm like, "What? You can speak, you're Greek, you can speak." I go, "This being Greek, but then they're speaking. There's mutually exclusive situations there." "Oh, you can get your way through it." So here's the thing. I go to this meeting. His name's Jack David. He's in charge of Enterprise Toronto. Sit down. Beside me, I had an author who had written a full-fledged book beside me. She was there to pitch herself. Well, guess who got the speaking opportunity? Me and my one article. She went white. To this day, we're still friends to this day. But I beat out an author of a book. And I couldn't believe it. And at the end of the day, it wasn't maybe about the book, it was maybe what I said to him and how I impression on him. And I went on to speak at Enterprise Toronto for many years, and that opened a lot of doors. Now, why I tell you this? Because it was just one article. One article. Now I've empowered a couple of women who've written blogs. Who have written blogs before? Who are turning those blogs into books. One of them, her name is Rania Fat. She's an airline stewardess with Emirates Airlines. She's flying in front of the skies in the world right now. She's launched a website called Living Out My Purpose. She's going to turn it into a book in a couple of years. Why? Because if I did it, I've never empowered others. More women have taken up on it. The men have been a little tougher. The women seem to want to listen to me and do it. The men just have to keep kicking them and keep tricking them or something. I don't know what it is. So, so move forward from that. I still kept shaking hands. I developed a system called the PAR system. And I'm going to run it through very quickly here. On my website, you will download the PDF copy of the PAR system. So the first is P, it's presentation. It's about this. Present yourself. I don't want to explain what they did. I mean, we'll cover the 30-second information at the end if you don't mind that. Just depending on what everybody does. I was good at the beginning here, but I'll really leave it to the end. So you have to have a 30-second infomercial. I mean, you have to have one ready. 30-second, 1 minute, even 2 minutes. Have it ready. Write it down. You never did meet someone on an elevator, on a break. I mean, I have people meet on elevators all the time. I mean, I'm on the 18th floor. By the time I get to the first floor, they got my business card. Well, they've asked for a business card. It's all about getting that attention. Next is attitude. This I cannot teach you. I cannot teach attitude. That's hard. I mean, I shake hands with people all the time. I can tell you about fish handshakes. I can tell you a big story about that. Maybe at the end of time. But R is response. R is what happens when you're engaging. I believe that this hi, how you doing, how's the weekend, fine, walk away, is almost a waste of time. So I think you should ask a couple of questions and have a engaging conversation. So you meet someone at the water cooler, hi, how are you? How was the weekend? Great. What did you do this weekend? Oh, it's nice. Actually went with the kids to the cottage. Great. Did you skiing? Yeah, we roasted marshmallows on the fireplace. Wow. Just dug a little deeper. And then kind of connected more. So PAR strategy, P for presentation, A for attitude, R response, is something you can do over and over again. And you always are actually amazing networkers as it is. But I'm not going to give you the cherry on top. Because I think women are probably the best networkers I've had. I've done shows about this, and I've lost the argument about men being better networkers. So I believe that we all do it. And do it over and over again, you'll be surprised what happens. So for me, that's what I've done. I've got out networking, I leveraged it. In 2011, I got approached by a regional director, her name is Lisa Kemper. She's the director of Constant Contact. Have you been to any Constant Contact seminars in Ontario? Any of you? Everybody heard Lisa Kemper? Everybody know who Lisa Kemper is? Everybody know who she is? All right. I got approached by Lisa Kemper. I became a solution provider for Constant Contact in November 2011. I was looking for an email system and started using it. And then in December, Lisa says to me, do you have like a YouTube video you can send me? Sure. Which one do you want? Shot 300 videos in 5 years. I'm going to take one. Forgot about it. January, she asked me for lunch. Lunch? I've been on a solution for 4 months. What did I do? Sits down and she says, well, we're starting this team called the Authorized Local Experts in January 2012. What are the team? Ask one question. Does it pay? One question. Yes, it does. I'm in. I'm in. I think I jumped. I still remember the hotel room where we were at the hotel. And that started our journey where I got to travel all around Ontario. It was awesome. I've been to Ingersoll, Kingston. I didn't been to Cambridge, but I went up north and I think I broke a record. I spoke like 9 women's groups in 1 year. I don't know what that was all about. I keep asking Lisa, is there any men's group in Ontario? Jim, don't complain, it was gold. So I did. And the lesson is, and it was interesting, is that there's a saying, and I'm being a little vulgar, but my friends say, in your own backyard, you're a schmuck. As soon as you leave your backyard, you're a hero, you're an expert. And I didn't believe it until I ended up going to Kingston and Ingersoll and Schaumburg and in other areas. We're like, man, you're good. Your business card, what do you do? In Toronto, I couldn't even draw blood from a stone to get a referral. And it just seemed, it was interesting. Things have changed since then. But it's just one of those things again. That's why I'm excited about the PSA and Ed and Doreen and everyone here. They've got a huge opportunity with PSA to make some big changes. And Tanya Hoffman is so supportive, and I've been on the phone with her a couple of times. And I think we're up for some big things in the next year or so for sure. So fast forward, I was talking and sharing and talking about engagement. And then next thing you know, fast forward, I got myself a book. I'm in the Authors Club now. It's kind of awesome. I got my cover done, my ISBN number done, and working on the editing right now. I actually got a phone call from someone today looking at picking up my book today. It was kind of just a phone call. So, well, out of the blue, I got a phone call. So news travels fast. So the book is called Get Connected 21st Century Online Offline Strategies. So I just shared offline. We're going to split here and go online because I want to be conscious of our time here, because I know those Toastmasters would get. When I was part of the meetings, I was part of a mastermind for a year, so we had a little bell, and then if you didn't pay attention to the bell, then we'd get the hammer. and then the hook would come out. So I learned the lessons. I was always going over. So let's go to online. Now, online has become an interesting space. There's a lot of noise online. Like noise, like, watch me do good things and like me, right? That's not going to stop. Like today, I was on LinkedIn because I spent a lot of time on LinkedIn. I saw Ed getting recognized for an amazing award. So congratulations on that. Now, how would I have known about that if I wasn't looking through my news feed and kind of learning what I'm doing? Because I knew a little bit what I'm doing, but congratulations on that. And again, I was like locked in. First thing I did is, hello, how are you doing? Second thing I said was congratulations. Why? Because it's always important to be humbled and show gratitude. Now I empower professionals, entrepreneurs to push themselves. And you said to get out, to get, what did you say? Get out or something? How did you word? What did you say?
Step out.
Step out. I said, jump out. Step out, jump out. And a quick story, my photographer took that picture right there, 100 photos later, took that one there. She calls me up, her name is Daisy Assay, a business called You Create Studio, and she says, I just turned down an opportunity to speak for Real Estate Association. I almost dropped the phone. She was about 10 minutes away from her. I got in the car, I drove over to her place. So what are you doing here? I said, did I say you can come over? I said, did you just say you turned down? He goes, yeah. What's your problem, man? I go, and we're going to pay you too? Yes. I go, we got to fix this right now. So just to come over right now, I called her. I'll tell her it was coming. So sat down with her, 1 hour, had a little tete-a-tete, gave her a book from a friend of mine who's written a book on speaking from Ottawa. His name was Steve. I remember Steve Blow from Ottawa. So gave her the book, and then I did a little session with her. I invited her to come to speak. I speak at Microsoft Store has at Yorkdale Shopping Center. They have I don't know if you know Microsoft stores. They have a little seminar space in the back of the store. So I invited her out to do a 10-minute talk, like Doreen did. She was nervous. You can do it. She comes out, rock the house. There was about 8 women, 2 men. She calls me up. She goes, "How was it?" I go, "Gotta do it again." And the moral of that story is she stepped out. And now she's doing some more. Gradually, she was more speaking. I left her alone. I said, okay, let her do herself. But she had an opportunity, and I helped her get over that. Did anything miraculous? No, she was open to be teachable to learn. Same thing with media. Anybody heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? Thank You Economy, a recent book called Jab, 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 right hook. Right?
I just got it.
You just got it?
Yeah.
So I met Gary's come to Toronto a couple of times. He's actually going to be in Toronto by Soundcast in May for the University of Toronto. Now, why I'm Gary gets it for a long time. And what he says is this, is you got to keep jab, jab, jab. And this is where my book comes in the sense of, you got to do a little bit of that, but it's how you do it. So what I'm going to share with you is more strategy than anything else. Now, I won't go through all these slides, but what we'll do is I'll consent the slides to end and we can disseminate the PowerPoint. What I want to leave you with is what can you do tonight? What can you do tomorrow to kind of get through that night? And the one word is strategy. I'll say it over and over. You got to have a strategy. So when I post stuff, say on Facebook, there's a reason I post that on Facebook, because I want engagement. And believe it or not, I get it. Like I was posting today's event on Facebook, and people were liking it. I had Ruben Gonzalez. He's a 4-time luge Olympian. Like my post. He's in Houston, Texas. I've met Ruben a couple times. He came to Toronto. For me, that was huge. Ruben, just to press that button, for me, that was huge. Now, why? It's because that's a vote. I call it like a vote. That's an engagement. He engaged with me. He took time to press. And he's not in Facebook that often. He told me, I'm horrible on Facebook. you can count one hand how long I'm on Facebook. So I want to promote Cambridge because coming here, I want to get the insights on the group. I'm going to have an event in Toronto. But again, I want to promote the group and I'll do more of it down the road. But again, that's engagement. Some people want to comment. way to go, Jim. So you can do the same. We all have these channels, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. You can use them in various ways. Like on Twitter, I did a video with my friend Phil Taylor, a Toastmasters gentleman who's in the United States right now. I did last year. I reposted the Blog Talk Radio show I did on social capital today, on all 3 networks. And all of them, I could see the replays happening, from the back end. Again, information, it's a year old, but it's still effective. So what I'm leaving you with is how to do that. We all have access. I was talking about Tanya Hoffman has this radio show, and this stuff is going to be really good. Why? It's because you're going to have something that you've done that you can share. We all need to build our credibility in some way, whatever what we're doing. So again, these are the 2 books. Another book called Engagement Marketing by Gail Goodwin. She's the CEO of Constant Contact. You can find both these books at any Chapters Indigo and so forth. Again, great resource material to look into. Now, I might have heard of Seth Godin. Heard of Seth Godin? Interesting gentleman. He's written a book called Permission Marketing. I have not read that one, but I want to put it out there. The reason is, there's a new law coming into play July 1st called CASL. Everybody heard of the CASL, C-A-S-L? It's basically a permission-based law coming up where you have to get permission when you're getting email addresses for newsletter. It took 3 years, finally got Royal sent last year. I'm not going to get deep into it, but again, I can email everybody else. 2 webinars that Lisa Kimber did with a lawyer talks about it. Again, one of the things that with Constant Contact, we're out there sharing. We're the only company who does that. A lot of companies do webinars. We actually do face-to-face meetings all over Ontario. So again, I want to give you some resource material. And again, if there's any more information, I can answer a little later on. So now, how many of you have used Constant Contact? Everybody uses it? 1, 2, 3, 4. And how's been the experience? Mind me asking? Has it been a positive experience? Okay, good to hear. Thank you. So we've come a long way. That's our platform there. We have email marketing, event spot, social campaigns, state locals coming to Canada very soon. Single platform and online surveys. So we're not just an email marketing company, we're a social media company. We created a category in 2003 when we came on board, 2002 we came on board, and we have about 800,000 customers in North America, and we're growing. We're going to hit 1 million soon, I think it's going to be next year sometime. And it's just a great company. We are the innovators. We have a big thing happening in May with the platform. I think it's going to be even easier for even a non-techie person to use our software. It's not that challenging now, believe it or not, but it's going to be. And unfortunately, I signed an NDA, so I can't tell you, but I can tell you that we're always adapting. So I want to just give you a little insights on email marketing. One of the things is, as I told you earlier, about content. And one of the things that really irks me sometimes is stuff I see posted, say, on Facebook sometimes. It's just nonsense. But people want that attention. And you're like, what's the reason for it? And again, it's a different platform than LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is a more professional. Who spends more time on LinkedIn here? I'm spending a little more short time on LinkedIn. I was guilty of Facebook a little bit. I have to admit I'm getting better at it. But just last week, everybody see the Toronto Star last week on the 13th of February? There was a ring on the front page of the Star. Okay? The next day, it was actually a marriage proposal the guy did online for his fiancée. And she actually had to watch a video of the proposal to accept it. And then he proposed it. So I thought it was a great example of online and offline. So he was planning this, he approached the Toronto Star, the guy hid his fiancee's phone so she wouldn't get texted by her friends and won't give it away. And then they had a big splash in the paper. So it was a great example of both. And we want to do that ourselves. If I'm promoting an event, like this one here, the ROI is people showing up here. Okay, that's the goal. And I think sometimes we have to realize what we're doing. So my challenge to you is that, yes, if you want to use email marketing and surveys, great. But what's the end goal? What's the prize? That prize was the marriage proposal. Some people's prize was the ROI. Some people's referrals. And you have to realize that. And I've sat down with